Good morning. My name is Carol DeFelice. I'm a ThyCa volunteer from Massachusetts. It's my pleasure to introduce Vicki Mackie. Vicki is the founder and executive director of Sights and Insights, an international 501c nonprofit. Sights and Insights provides free mindful therapeutics through art workshops, programs, and retreats for cancer patients, survivors, caregivers, and clinical caregivers. Vicki is a cancer survivor, caregiver, author, speaker, and entrepreneur. Through research and innovation, she developed an award-winning copyrighted curriculum proven to help heal the emotional trauma that comes with a cancer diagnosis. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you. I was expecting to kind of introduce myself, so thank you so much for doing that for me. Takes some of it away. Okay. Anyway, as she was saying, we do provide programs for people who have emotional trauma from a cancer diagnosis. And all of you understand that, even if you're a caregiver, because that emotional trauma applies to you as well. So we do that by helping participants release emotions that have been trapped in the body. I've given it a very scientific name. I call it stuffing and unstuffing. And the truth of the matter is, I actually stole that from George Carlin in one of his comedic acts. Of course, he was talking about, stuffing and unstuffing the house, but it just stuck with me. I thought the act was so funny, and I just have never forgotten it. And I thought, you know what? That applies to what I'm doing today. I'm stuffing and unstuffing those emotions. Excuse me. So why did I do this? Well, to begin with, I was working at a local cancer clinic as a program coordinator. And whenever I would go into the waiting room to ask patients, what do you want for the programs? One of the things that I found out is once they found out that I was a cancer survivor myself, the language changed. And so now I call it the cancer language, because they started telling me things that they weren't telling their clinicians. And I would ask them why wouldn't you tell them? Oh, well, that doesn't make, they don't want it. They don't need that, it's just personal. Well, so is health, but that wasn't for me to say. The other thing that I found a couple of incidences where patients were actually diagnosed with a low stage cancer, treatable. And yet within 6 to 8 months, they were gone. And I couldn't quite get over that. And I kept wondering, is there something that I did differently that maybe, I can think about maybe doing more of that? And the only thing that I could come up with is that during that time that I was going through all the treatments and surgeries and the recovery, I actually went back to my art, and I wondered if that had anything to do with it. So what do? You get on the internet, you start Googling everything. That was back in, well, it was actually before 2015. And back then there was not a whole lot to be found. But I did finally find some classes that I thought might be helpful to what I was doing. And I quit work for a while and went back to school. And I came back and started doing some workshops in the clinic for people. Couple of things. One, every time I would put out a flyer, we had months waiting lists to get in there. The other thing that I was doing was that I needed to know from me for sure, was this really working? Or, I knew that the feedback, verbal feedback that I was getting back from everyone, but I needed to know. So very anonymously, I had them do evaluations and surveys to go through it. And once I went through it, I discovered to my astonishment that yes, that what they were saying to me, they were elaborating about it even more of how it had helped them. And I thought, oh, wow, this might be something we might take a look at. So In 2016, Sights and Insights was born. Now, behind that is, behind what we do is actually, as I said earlier, is the science and the art. And science is believed to be strictly data driven and objective, being very objective. Art supposedly is very subjective and guided by emotions, sentiments, and feelings, right? Well, you see, there's a lot more to it than that. Science and art really do have a lot more in common than most people think. Both, think about this way, both involve ideas, theories, and hypotheses, right? Scientists test these with their hand and their thoughts in their mind and put it out in their test tubes. And where do they do that? In a laboratory. Artists do the same thing. They start studying people and landscapes and everything that's around them, and using their hand and their mind by putting that together. And where do they do that? Not in a laboratory, but in a studio. So if you think about it, creativity is actually necessary to visualize or conceptualize a particular cell process or a new thought process for solving a scientific problem. Now, are you beginning now to kind of put it together? You see the similarities between the science and the art, but there's more to it than that. So let's start by art and healing. Now, what is healing art? I know everybody has heard that term. And the truth is, it's a very general term. A lot of things come underneath that. Healing art is a term used to describe a practice that promotes healing, wellness, coping, and personal change using creativity and innovative ways to engage the mind, the body, and the spirit, because we know that that all works together. It includes a wide range of practices, including, of course, art, music, acupuncture, massage, aromatherapy, Tai Chi, dance or movement, writing, like Rolf Stavig was talking about yesterday, writing and drama therapies. There are studies and research on just about every aspect of healing art. In fact, I'm going to back that up. Just about, no. There is studies and research behind every single one of these things that you see up here. Now, healing arts has been around for centuries and are practiced worldwide. As an example, did we? No, yeah. Okay, it did come up. Okay. The Han Dynasty. The theory was that the art of massage and exercise should be used to cure paralysis and prevent disease. Okay. And then Tai Chi was created at the end of the Ming Dynasty. And that's been looked at, studied for over 300 years, and it has been developed. It is, now there's a list here. It is good for people suffering from emotional disturbances, high blood pressure, tuberculosis, gastric and intestinal diseases, paralysis, arthritis, and chronic heart diseases. Whoa. Okay. All right. So even the Egyptians used colors from the sun to cure just about everything. They built temples of light. And what they would do is that they would use colors along with the sunlight that would come down And they use the colors actually to cure certain abnormalities, okay? Because it produced, the different colors produced actually different effects on the body. And in fact, today, it has been proven that if you blindfold someone, they will experience a psychological reaction under different colors of rays. You could maybe say that the skin can feel or sense color, okay? So our bodies are quite phenomenal. Whoops, okay. Whoa, sorry about that. Uh-oh. Get me back, Drew. There we go. Sorry about that. See, now you know what's coming. That's too bad. Close your eyes just for a moment because I want to surprise you. All right. Don't look. Nobody look as we go through here. Okay. All right. All right. Now, let's see. Ancient Egyptians. Okay. Now, let me see if I can do this correctly here. Nope, I must not be in the right way. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm used to a touch screen. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, just that. Oops, I'm sorry.
You have to click onto the right.
There we go. Okay, I'm with you now.
Or even the arrow.
As long as that's there.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry for the interruption. You know, I do art and I do science. I don't do computers. Okay. I do have my boundaries. This is where I stop. Okay. Okay. So these are just a couple of the examples of the ancient healing arts that are actually still practiced today. Let's see. Oops, I'm still trying to do it from my computer. All right, these are just some of the things. And some of the examples that we still do today that came from all of those things, from the Han Dynasty, the Ming Dynasty, and the Egyptian studies. Today, we still do Tai Chi. Today, we still practice massage and healing and chromotherapy. And for those of you who don't, chromotherapy is actually light therapy. Therapists use light to use that for healing. So these are the modalities that we're still using today. That was, all right, it's still not in the right. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Even Florence Nightingale in 1859 realized the importance and validity of using art and form and color as a means of healing and recovery. And this is what she wrote in 1859. The effect and sickness of beautiful objects, a variety of objects, and especially of brilliancy of colors is hardly at all appreciated. People say the effect is on the mind. It is no such thing. The effect is on the body too. Little as we know about the way in which we are affected by form, color, by light, we do know this, that they have a physical effect. Variety of form and brilliancy of color is the objects presented to patients and are actual means of recovery. Florence knew that back in 1859. Can you imagine? And it's taking us, we are just now starting to really give it more validity than we've ever done that before. So how does that help? You see, let's start from the beginning. How putting that all together now. Let's start at the beginning. Everything in this universe has energy. The chairs that you're sitting on, they actually have energy. you know, your purses, your pins, your coffee cup, this podium up here actually carry energy. And they all have a very unique energy in and of themselves. Each of them are different. They all vibrate, they all resonate, and they all oscillate at different frequencies. Researchers have shown as an example that solids have a lower frequency than liquids. Okay, but so does color. Color also has its own frequencies and can be measured by nanometers and terahertz. Red has the highest frequency and violet, believe it or not, has the lowest frequency. These are all pretty much constant and consistent measurements, unlike us, unlike human beings. Let's see if I can do this right now. These are all pretty constant, like I said, except for us. We're just not constant at all. Our energies vibrate, and the frequencies are anything but constant. And why? Actually, it's because of our emotions. That's one of the things. Our emotions and our feelings, that can change instantly. Hence, our energies or our electromagnetic energy changes within a second as our thoughts, feelings, and emotions change. So does your electromagnetic energy. So this is just a color spectrum of showing you the nanometers and the terahertz. Now, it can change only in that the hues of the colors. So in other words, the different hues of the blue. So it would be somewhere in between the 500 and the 430. So this is just to show you that. The electromagnetic waves are a form of energy wave that has both an electric and a magnetic field. The frequencies and wavelengths of the energy create energy within the body that can transform the body's physiology through light. So another way to understand all of this in my language is what I call my closet story. And some of you who've been around me have heard this story, but it's the best way I know how to describe it. You see, hypothetically, just pretend for a moment with me. 3 days ago, you went into your closet and you knew you were going to be here today and you're going to be sitting in this class. And you said, I wonder what I'm going to wear. And you go to your closet and you pull out the green top and you put it on. All right. And you look in the mirror and you go, oh no, uh-oh, that's not going to work. And so you take it off, you throw it down, and then you put the yellow one on. And you look in the mirror and you go, nope. So then you take it off and you put the purple one on, and until you finally find one that you go, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Has it happened to any of you before? And it doesn't matter, male or female, it happens to all of us. Well, guess what? There's science behind that. That pile of clothes that now you have to hang back up in the closet. And here's the science of that. Is that just as I was mentioning before, your energy, the electromagnetic energy waves were going along just fine that morning. In fact, when you woke up that morning, you turned around and your partner or your pet licked you on the side of the face, and it just made you feel so warm and cozy. Just, okay, that could have happened. Yeah, that could have happened. Or something else could have happened. You woke up this morning and you decided to see what was going on in the world and you turned on the news. Do you see the difference in the energy that your body now has? So what happens is the energy from that particular color and your energy, they don't mix until you find the color or the hue of the color that finally mixes with your particular energy. So, atoms such as nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen all carry their own energy and play a huge role in providing a healthy balance between mind, body. And we all are learning more about that, about the mind, body, and spirit, and how that is so important. These atoms are very receptive to the vibrations, actually, of emotions. As an example, when you feel angry, stop and think about that. When you feel angry, how do you feel? Yeah, you can feel it in your body, can't you? Exactly. So those emotions affect you, your body, physiologically. So using energy healing as an example methods, they will release these energy emotions that have become trapped in your body and help keep the body well balanced and healthy. So looking at it from an objective point of view as a scientist might, emotions are just energy in motion. So you might keep that in mind when things start happening in your life. Emotions are just energy in motion. That's exactly what they are. So a while back, actually several years back, I had someone say to me, "Oh, Vicki, affirmations, foo-foo, they can't work. And the whole idea is just absolutely absurd and foolish." I never forgot that, because what I wanted to say to that very educated gentleman is, do you not know how the brain works? So, yes, don't ever believe that those types of things cannot help you, because they most definitely will. And here's the way that it does. In your brain, this is the part of the limbic system, but inside the limbic system, the amygdala and the hippocampus are involved in the process of thinking, thus help in the execution of beliefs. So in other words, when you believe something, that's kind of where it goes, through the hippocampus and the amygdala. Now, the fun part of this is that there's another part of your brain, and it's about yay big, okay? And it's located right back here, just above your your stem cell. Your what? Yeah, your brain stem cell. There we go. Your brain stem cell. And now it has lots of things that it needs to do, but here's one of the things that it does. It actually filters information for us and lets in all of the information to validate the beliefs that you put into your amygdala and your hippocampus. And what it does is that it will go out and filter and search for things. Here's a good example of how that works. Let's say that you just learned a brand new word. Okay. Have you ever found this to be true? You just learned a brand new word, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden you're starting to see that brand new word almost everywhere you look, because it searches out, it finds it, it filters through and lets it through. And then the fabulous neuroplasticity starts rerouting your neurons to bring in whatever it is that you desire. So you see, the brain helps you heal in so many different ways. The brain can actually work to your advantage if you understand how it works. Give it the right information, and it will pretty much take it from there. Let's see. The mind, the body, and the spirit sync together as one for well-being. Now, Having a look at the brain, now let's take a look at the heart. The neurons in the heart enable the heart to learn, remember, and make decisions independent of the brain's cerebral cortex. Interesting. The male heart weighs about 10 ounces. The female heart weighs about 8 ounces. And the brain weighs about 3 pounds. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. And yet, the heart controls the brain more than thought, according to some brand new studies. And of course, in the science world, brand new is 2013. Okay, some brand new, excuse me, some brand new theories in 2013. More information is actually sent from the heart to the brain on a daily basis than what we used to think. We used to think that the brain would send everything to, the body, which included the brain. That is not really true. We are finding out now. And why? Because the heart actually has it has 60 times greater energy than the brain does, 60 times greater energy. The electromagnetic waves from the heart is 5,000 times greater than the brain. So what they have come up with, has finally figured out, is that the heart is actually sending more information to the brain than the brain is sending to the heart. Interesting. So it's all coming together. So the heart. Studies have shown that two individuals touching one another, this is a good example, or within just a few feet of one another, can interact so that the energy activity in the heart of one individual is measured in the brain waves of the other person. Believe it or not, they can test that. If, for example, you focus on positive and loving emotions radiating from the heart to another, it will improve higher level functions, lower blood pressure, and cortisone levels that are higher, and an improved immune system, which we talk a whole lot about in Sights and Insights. Because of the neurologic and endocrine composition of the heart, it makes it possible to train the heart, believe it or not, to connect with peace, joy, love, and harmony. And according to studies in 2013 that were done, the heart controls the brain so much more. And so this is the heart talking to the brain a lot now. Today, we are gradually understanding the concept of healing by linking the mind, the body, and the spirit. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. Researchers are finding there is a lot more to that adage than we originally had thought. We always talk about the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? But actually, the way that it actually works is information comes into the heart, the mind, the brain, the body. So this is the way it actually starts. The information comes into the heart. The heart then assimilates that information that you just put into it, such as love, joy, harmony, peace, whatever it is. And then it sends it to your mind. Now, there is a difference between your mind and your brain. It then sends it to your mind. Your mind then assimilates it and then sends it on to the brain. Now, we know more about that. So the brain then assimilates it, puts it where it needs to go, the limbic system, wherever, the frontal cortex, all of those different things. And then what does it do, as we all know? It sends it then to your body. So what can you do with that? Well, that's actually what we do. After all of everything we just went over, that is exactly what Sights and Insights has done. We have combined science and art, providing participants with the tools to explore their emotions. And this is just some of the things. And we do call it mindful therapeutics through art, okay? But like I said earlier, I like the scientific name a lot better, stuffing and unstuffing. But behind that stuffing and unstuffing, that very scientific name, is all of the things that I was talking about before. It assimilates, and we use that in the background. We use art as our front, so to speak. We teach mindful techniques and various complementary therapies, as you can see, and we use research on how the brain works with emotions. Everything that we say, everything that we do in any of our programs all have research and studies, and is all evidence-based. Research has shown that the emotions that we stuff into our bodies impact our immune system. And here's the key. If they are negative emotions, they will actually destroy your immune system. And they have actually taken those studies to the point where they can now tell us which emotions are the worst ones that hurt the worst. Do you know what that one is? Can you guess what it is? Actually, it's hatred. Yeah, well, you know, what I do is I actually, when I talk about it, I talk about the anger that goes along with hatred. But hatred will start to destroy your immune system. And the longer it stays there, the more it's going to eat away at it. Now, conversely, if you start stuffing in positive emotions, okay, what do you think the most positive emotion is? Exactly. That one's pretty easy. Love. Love will actually start to mend your immune system. So that's kind of all of this is what's behind it. And here's some definitions. You know, therapeutic art is actually what we do. But before I tell you what therapeutic art is or does, let me explain to you what it is not. Therapeutic art is not art therapy. We do not do art therapy. We do therapeutic art, which provides a creative process in helping participants improve mental health and wellness. And that's kind of a really simplified explanation and description of that. We also integrate the 5 senses, combining all 5 senses for the purpose of touching the subconscious mind, which activates the participant's senses and arouses their creativity. And neuroaesthetics, that's kind of a new one out there right now. It's scientific studies of the neural consequences of contemplating work of art through the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system in the brain. Now, underneath it all, after I had put all of this stuff together many years ago, then all of a sudden I was on the internet one day and I discovered, oh my gosh, guess what they're doing now? It's called psychoneuroimmunology. And it does exactly what I had put together, which is wonderful, trying to get in some of their classes, the study of the effect and interactions of the mind, the neural, and the endocrine function on health and the resistance to disease and immune system. You know, what I have found doing this for a lot of years now is that when we are doing our art, which is all abstract and it's all about feelings and emotions, what I have found is that when people start painting those feelings and emotions, they start painting things that they didn't knew was there, had forgotten. Because a lot of it, most of it, maybe even all of it, comes from trauma. Trauma affects your immune system. When it affects your immune system, well, guess what's going to happen? Now, our work has recently actually been published, and the concept and the data, because since 2015, we've been keeping data, and this is just one of the graphs from the published journal, and it was the ACCC Oncology Issues Journal that was put out this April. We did it shows our data shows an overwhelming positive proof that our concept works. In-person and virtual participants found these workshops to be extremely positive. And this was done on the virtual workshops were done, and they were facilitated actually across the country and also during COVID-19. We instruct participants with a lot of mindful tools. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with 3 of my favorite mindful tools today. The first one is doodling, believe it or not. Doodling can actually help you focus and stay right here, right now in the positive and the present. The key is this, doing it for 20 minutes. And if it's not doodling, pick up a coloring book and sit and just color. Grab a box of crayons and a coloring book and just color if you just don't feel like doing doodling. Either one of those will work. It will bring you right here and keep you in the present. This one, I think, you know, when you have that chattering brain that goes off and goes, and you don't know how to stop it, this is the way to stop it. The other one is what I was just talking about, and that is, and I talk a whole lot about it, is staying right here, right now. Okay? Sounds really, really easy, doesn't it? Well, and people talk about, well, just stay in the present moment. Sounds so easy. It's not. It really is not that easy. But I look at it this way. And this is what I usually pass on to my participants. You see, think about it. 1 second ago, it's gone. Can't do anything about it. You can stand there and look at it if you want. You can do that, but it's gone. That 1 second is gone. Now, the next second, I'm old enough to tell you from experience, you do not know what's going to happen the very next second. Doesn't everything seem to happen within a second when it's traumatic or something good or bad? Just in that 1 second, that's what this happened. The very next second, you do not know what's going to happen. Now, you can think about it and you can logically go, oh, well, I'm going to get up and just, the next second and run out of here. You could think about that. You could assume, you could dream, you can hope, you can wish of what might come this very next second. But I'm standing here telling you 100%, you really don't know what could happen the very next second. So what does that tell you? What that tells you is that the only reality of life is staying right here, right now, in this very second. So here's what I want you to do. I want you all to close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes and just be in this 1 second, okay? Close your eyes, be in this second, and here's what I want to tell you. You're okay. You're okay. Just sitting there. You're okay in this second. And to me, that's what staying right here, right now is all about. Is you're okay right now. And that's pretty much the only thing. Now, I'm also going to leave you with my third favorite mindful tools. And believe me, I've got a plethora of them. In fact, I'm writing a new book or whatever it is just on mindful tools. So this one is one of them that we use. And it's, how many of you do know about laughing yoga? Okay, it's wonderful. And guess what? Like I told you earlier, everything that we do and say has science behind it. There's science behind this. Look at the benefits. And where did this come from? Dr. Qatar in Mumbai, India, created this in 1995. And he researched this and studied this. And these are just some of the things. It boosts your immune system. Hello. It increases levels of cancer fighting cells. Oh my gosh. Promotes circulation to the digestive and lymphatic system. Oh, you can't beat that at all. Okay, so having told you all that, let's do it. Okay, all right, let's do it. I want you to all play with me. All right, so what we're going to do, let's see if I can do this, hold this at the same time, is, okay, I want you to spread your fingers apart, okay, and then clap. Would you please? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. But no, there's going to be a method to this. All right. So what we're going to do is spread your fingers across like this. All right, with spaces in between. And the reason why we have you do this is because when we do clap, that will actually hit the acupressure points in your hands that will go to certain parts of your brain, which will then open up creativity and all this good stuff. So, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. We're going to do that 3 times, okay? 3 times. And then at the end of it, I want you to raise your arms up and go, yay, okay? All right, and then we'll do something else. All right, all right. You want to all stand with me? If I'm standing here, you guys need to stand with me as well. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. All together now. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! Don't sit down. I'm not done with you. No, 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 no. That would be way too easy. No. Okay. So pretend with me. We are in Las Vegas, okay? And we're all standing in front of a slot machine. And we pull down the handle, and I'm going to tell you in the next second what's going to happen. Is that when you pull that handle down and those little things start coming, and all 3 bars, okay, all 3 bars say $10 million. And then we are going to laugh, okay? All right. Now, here's the secret about laughing yoga. The body does not know the difference between real laughter and fake laughter. So, you know what? If you have to fake it till you make it, fake it, okay? Because I will tell you, if you can get that going, this is what you're going to get from it. So, we're all going to do this together. As uncomfortable as it may seem right now, that's okay. Because what else can you do together? If you can laugh together, what else can you do? Spreading love and joy, peace and happiness, okay? So we've done that. And so, all right, we're going to all stand in front of our slot machines. We're going to pull that handle together. Okay. Oh. Yeah, any day. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for playing with me. I so much appreciate it. Oh, and thank you for making my day. I really do appreciate it. So we do have time for questions. It is www, of course, and it's sitesandinsights.org. And the spelling of it is a little different. It's sites, S-I-T-E-S, and you spell out and, A-N-D, and insights is INSIGHTS.org, sitesandinsights.org. If you want to get hold of me, it's the same thing. It's Vicki, V-I-C-K-I, at sitesandinsights.org. Okay. A lot of people are surprised when they come to any of my classes or programs to discover that paintbrushes are not allowed in our classes. Actually, what we use are makeup sponges, Q-tips, and your fingers. And there is, again, behind that, there's science behind that as well. In that, what it does is it gets you closer to your emotions and feelings through the tactile part of your five senses. The closer you are to that art and those feelings that you are now pouring out in front of you on that canvas, the closer you will become attached to it. And also, I have discovered ways to also help you shut down that left brain of yours, okay? And to help you climb into that right brain where all of your creativity is involved. And it's something that most people really, especially at the beginning, they go, what? And that is, I time you. Yes, I time you, because what happens is that we do a lot of guided projects. In other words, I've written over 200 guided projects, and we talk about, or I'll talk about, different emotions. And then I ask you to put those out in front of you to take a look at them, which many times people are actually shocked what they see and find out, even through abstract art. But as they put that out and put it out in front of them, they see for the first time some things that they have been stuffing down forever. It's so important, so important. But the timing then just does stop that left brain from going on, because what happens is that left brain will come into play and it'll say, oh, I think she said something about a boat. Oh, and your left brain takes over and it goes, I know, I'll paint a boat. I'll draw a boat here. You know, something like that. Or I'll draw a person. We're all abstract. And that's actually your left brain taking over your right brain. So I devise ways to keep that left brain real quiet while we're doing all of this work to help you so that you can stay healthy. It helps the reoccurrences. It helps you stay healthy. It's not just about cancer. It's about all kinds of disease, illnesses, ailments, all of it, to just keep you healthy. Believe it or not, art and science, put them together and they can help you stay healthy on so many different levels. So if there are no more questions, then you have a few minutes left. And thank you so much for being here. Did you learn something from this today? An appreciation of art, which is not just drawing a squirrel in a tree.